I'm gonna start recording. Hold on. We're not in there yet.
Okay.
Hold on.
Got it.
Okay, and then let's call this. I'm gonna call it Health is Wealth, and then we're gonna go to the group.
Like that. Health is wealth with Eat Right 24/7,
Exactly. Okay.
right?
www. Let's say www dot. Okay. Multifamily group. Perfect. Okay, here we go. I think it's like 5-second delay.
Okay.
Preparing. Oh,
Drinking your water. I love it.
always. Looks like we are live. Oh, all
Drinking
right.
your water. I love it.
All right, everyone. We have Michelle Rogers from www.eatright247.com. Let's just tell the viewers kind of how we know each other,
Okay.
how we came to get to know each other, how we came to okay, Michelle, can you hear me?
Yep.
So how did you get started with the Tony Robbins groups?
Me.
Yeah.
So I've always been into kind of the self-help and motivational speaking and learning more about myself and always improving. So I had seen some of his information and I started off by going to one of his conferences and I just loved it. You know, just all the stuff about mindset and it was super positive and a lot of energy. I definitely learned a lot about myself, what makes me tick and what's important to me and how to use my skills in moving forward. I also learned kind of what I want and how to start trying to go after that positive self-talk and changing your mindset and learning more about people too, what drives people to do what they do and the meanings we attach to certain things, events in our lives or our beliefs about those areas in our lives, such as our health. And the more I can learn about all of those things helps me be a better dietitian and life coach. So because basically all of those beliefs and things that we develop over time are who we become and affect whether or not we move forward. So our beliefs and everything we think, we feel, and we do really have an impact on us. So if we change our story, then we can basically change our life. And the only thing that really keeps us from getting what we want is a story that we keep telling ourselves about why we don't have it. So I just always want to lead with love too. And I always remember what he says. He said, you can't be depressed and grateful at the same time. And that was a big one for me. And my goal is to make a positive difference in this world. And I can't do that unless I'm making a positive difference in myself. And then he also said, I remember he said, get into action, get the tools, and get laser focused.
That's beautiful. And so the way we connected those dots was I hired a Tony Robbins coach and he said, what's stopping you from not being obese? At the time I was obese. And he said, go hire a nutritionist. And so I found your company on Google. I mean, the company that you work for, and scheduled a consult with you. We talked like no less than a couple days later. And everything you said just connected with me. And I was supposed to interview, my coach told me to go interview 3 nutritionists. After we talked, I was done. You're my coach. You
I
know?
love that.
And so you helped me lose 30 pounds of fat, me personally,
Yeah.
30 pounds of fat just this year. You're a
Mhm.
big part of it. And tell other people that tell the viewers that you're also not just a dietitian, you have other skills in the fitness field.
Yeah, I used to be a personal trainer as well. So I do have that background. My main focus is weight loss and sports nutrition, but I do have that personal training background, so I can really work with fitness as well and know how nutrition and fitness play a role together. So, and then also I have a really strong passion for functional medicine, which is getting to the root cause of things. So I think that definitely helps me in kind of identifying what people's issues are. And then also, I really am interested in the Tony Robbins piece, which is the coaching, the motivation, the drive, changing the mindset. Because if you don't do that, then you're not going to, change your health for the long term.
Right, right.
Mhm.
So many people get stuck in these fads and yo-yo diets, and they just don't realize it's a lifestyle change. That's one of the biggest things you taught me is it's your life, so change your life, right? So
Mhm.
what do you think's the biggest challenge people face with their health right now?
I would say that they don't make time for their health until they have to. So if you don't make time for your health or wellness, you're going to have to make time for sickness. So we really need to prioritize it, almost schedule it like an appointment and fit it in like it's happening no matter what. So when people want to schedule something, you go, oh, let me see. Oh, nope, I can't do that. That's when you're exercising. That's when you have an appointment with your coach or whatever it may be. That's when you're meal prepping, whatever. So making time for that. And you cannot really truly live with passion if you're not healthy. So it's hard to make a difference in other people's lives if you're not making a difference in your own health, in your own life, and you're falling apart. So I also say too, is you have to remember who you're spending time with, because that can also shape your life. In other words, pick people who have the life that you want and spend more time with them. If you want to change your life and you want to get healthier and you want to be fitter, then pick people who are doing the same. Maybe find somebody go to the gym and see somebody that's really fit and say, what are you doing? Or hire a coach or a dietitian and find out the right way in which to go about it.
I love that. Someone said something that was really fascinating to me. Everyone's heard that you're the average of your 5 friends, right? Well, would you be willing to trade your health for any of those 5 friends? Kind of makes you think, right? Like,
Mm,
oh my
yeah.
goodness. Do I have good, healthy friends? So
Yes.
how have you helped your clients get long-lasting results and success?
Definitely, first we have to establish goals, and that's looking at all their information and seeing where they're currently at, breaking those goals down, kind of figuring out a lifestyle plan, an exercise plan, but also looking at it as a whole. In other words, I don't just look at nutrition or eating. I also look at exercise, hydration, sleep, stress, hormones, supplement, all of that plays a role. Also, if you're on any medications that would impact that. So if that's going to affect your health, things like meds that would increase your weight or slow down your metabolism, and then work to create the new habits with them. So meal timing, balancing blood sugars, talking about exercise that would be best for them, their macronutrients, optimizing their supplements, helping them figure out more about themselves and what their triggers are. Because if you figure out what your triggers are, then you can actually really start working on changing those. And then basically, learning more about what are the best foods to choose and to eat. And then keeping the setting goals and reaching the goals and then changing it and keep, setting new goals. Optimizing their health in every way.
Right, right, right.
Mhm.
I think in today's modern society, and a lot of the viewers are probably going to be business heavy and fitness light. So What's your advice for those workaholics who are building their business and letting their bodies fall apart simultaneously?
Oh my gosh, I see this all the time, especially in our culture. You know, we just go, go, go and don't slow down. But kind of like what I said before, if you don't make time for wellness now, you're going to have to make time for illness. And basically, you just have to focus on this right now, because if you don't take time for wellness and you do end up having a heart attack, or you end up in the hospital, you're not working, you're not taking care of anybody else, you're not even taking care of yourself. So everything shuts down. So why not start doing that now? And basically, and if you don't master the capacity to maximize your health, your energy, your vitality, all the money, success, career, contribution will be worthless, because you can't experience an extraordinary life, quality of life, without the vehicle that's going to help you get there and create it.
Absolutely. I think like you said, the people that really need it the most realize it too late.
Yes, you don't want to wait until retirement. Now, all of a sudden, you've been working all along, and finally you're like, okay. And now your health completely falls apart, and now you can't even enjoy it.
Right.
Yeah.
So people love easy hacks, right? That's the fad these days. What's a hack? So let's give the viewers, what are 3 things everyone can do right now that would only take 10 minutes a day that will improve their health?
I love this. Drinking water with lemon, getting adequate water through the day. So I usually say, I know they say like 64 ounces, but honestly, it's probably more than that if you're working out or sweating. It can be up to a gallon. Breathing exercises, rebounding, eating 5 fruits and vegetables a day, more like 4 veggies, 1 fruit. Basically, it could be 10 minutes of exercise, running in place, or doing some stretching, or some squats, some lunges, some sit-ups, some push-ups. It could be taking good quality supplements, things like really good quality multivitamin mineral, or a good quality omega-3 fatty acid, or a probiotic. It could be getting 10 minutes of the sun so that you can get a little bit of vitamin D, a cold shower, meditation, goal setting. That would be a great one. Or I would say another one could be sauna, or tracking your body composition. That would be another one. And that doesn't even take, but a minute or 2. And then you can track that over the years, so you can see where you've come and where you're going, which really makes a difference, and then try and maintain that body composition over time.
I think that's beautiful. If you can't do one of those tips, you're full of excuses.
There you go.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's a tradition now at our house. Anybody who comes over gets on the body comp scale.
Do they really? Oh my gosh, that's
Everyone.
hilarious. Oh, they're
Everyone.
going to be hiding. They're like, you're coming over to my house.
Ignorance is not bliss. At least you got to know where you're at, right?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Talking about the social aspect, what's more important if one had to choose? Do I give up alcohol or do I give up sugar? What's the bigger benefit?
That's super interesting, because well, it depends on like what we're talking about with sugar, because if we're talking about like high fructose corn syrup, that's literally toxic. And high fructose corn syrup and alcohol are both metabolized in the liver, so they can be having a similar impact. And and then alcohol does break down to sugar, so you have to look at it in those terms. And remember, sugar equals inflammation. And if you want heart disease, if you want diabetes, if you want fatty liver, if you want to increase your midsection fat, your visceral fat, which is not good, eat more sugar. Literally, it is toxic. So a woman shouldn't really have more than 6 teaspoons a day of sugar, and a man shouldn't really have more than 9 teaspoons a day. And when it comes to alcohol, as far as the recommendation for that, they would say if you don't drink, don't start. It has a higher propensity to be stored as fat, visceral fat. And if you're a drinker, basically for women, no more than 1 drink a night, and for men, no more than 2. And then it's better to have it in moderation throughout the week than to have it all at one time. Because if you say, for instance, it's like, oh, well, I didn't drink all week, And then Saturday comes around, you're like having 10 drinks. That's a huge hit to your liver. You know, you need to be spending all the next week detoxing that, and cleaning that up. So that's so it's a hard one. I say everything in moderation. But if it's high fructose corn syrup, there's no moderation for that.
Right.
You don't want that. You don't want that.
Any amount of poison is bad.
And then if it is a drink, honestly, make it a cleaner drink, a vodka seltzer, or less sugar, less fats in there. So do something clean, something on the rocks, a clear liquor, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's easy because I don't drink, but there's a large part of society that drinks or drinks too much and knows they do, but they don't stop.
Yes.
So it's just, I know when we first started engaging, you had me go get blood tests.
Mhm.
Can you kind of explain the importance of blood tests?
Blood tests are super important. I think you need to be your own best advocate for your health. So how can you change anything, and what do you need to change? You don't know unless you have baseline levels. Same thing with weight, but with your blood tests, getting your baselines, knowing if there's something off, and then finding the right coach or person in which to help you get that back in line. And we also have to realize too, our soils are polluted, our water is polluted, we're living in this toxic soup. So basically finding out, are we deficient in any vitamins and minerals? What's going on in our bodies? Is our cholesterol off? Is our blood sugar off? Are we eating too much sugar? And what are our exposure to heavy metals, toxins, things like that? Because all of that plays a role in how we feel, how our bodies function, all of it. So the more you know, the better off you are in starting to make those changes to get healthier.
And what do people do if those tests are not covered by insurance? Should they still get them?
They can. You can get them yourself. Like you could go through, like Quest, you can get your own labs if you want to do it that way. Absolutely. Depending on what test you want to do, and you can pay out of pocket. The thing is that if you really want, if your insurance doesn't cover it, and maybe your doctor's not willing to get that, there are other places that you can go to, like a functional medicine doctor who will actually be able to treat you too, if you have a problem that arises. So if you do find, okay, your labs are not in line, that they will be able to help you.
That's great. That's great. It's important to know where you're at numerically,
Absolutely.
not just emotionally, because health is measurable. That's one thing you taught me.
Get your physical every year. Yes.
Yeah.
And health is measurable.
So speaking of measuring, how many steps should one take every day, and how should that be tracked?
Yes. So as a general rule, they say 10,000 steps a day. So 10,000 steps is 5 miles. And each mile is about 100 calories. So that's about 500 calories. But I like to think of it like, okay, well, I just need a 500 calorie burn. So I just need to move more. It doesn't matter if I walk. It doesn't matter if I jog. It doesn't matter if I use the elliptical or the rowing machine, or it could be the bike, whatever it is. I just need to move more and burn 500 calories a day. And the other thing that I also say is, when it comes to lifting weights, you don't want to lose lean muscle mass. Lean muscle mass is crucial. You want to age fast, lose your lean muscle mass. That needs to stay intact, if not increase. And so you want to align your hormones, but also you want to do some kind of weight training. So weight training, I usually say lifting every muscle group to fatigue at least twice a week, and then having 2 days rest in between.
That's great. That's great. I think if anybody has follow-up questions, how can they get a hold of you? Can you let people know?
Yeah, they can email me at eatright247@gmail.com, or they can go onto my site, www.eatright247.com, and they can chat through there as well.
Yeah, we'll put the link in the chat. And just to wrap up this conversation that we've had, can you explain what is the meaning of health is wealth?
I say health is like, it's so many things. It can be, number one, being free of disease, or it can be energy, vitality, basically it's all of those components wrapped together. So being able to live your fullest life each day. But I also say the things we have to remember, and in that as well, is remember to celebrate all the successes. That's super important. Remember, failure is an opportunity to learn. It's not a failure. And use mantras. I love mantras, like eat clean, or just different things that you can push you towards a better future. And always remember, and Tony Robbins would say this, fear is the biggest motivator. So use fear in one way, forget everything and run, or you can face everything and rise.
Yes.
Yay!
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Look at the guns. Fantastic. Well, again, I want to thank you for this great interview. You took your time out to share your knowledge. And if anybody wants to get a hold of Michelle, her contact info is below. She'd be happy to talk with you.
Love it. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Michelle. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Okay. Bye.